Hey y'all, welcome to the Clock Tower. I'm Colton here with Brandon. New 5 cards 5 minutes series for the new Kaguya set. Today we're looking at rares and double rares. Brandon, what's our first card?
First up, we have this is a clean cut mill runner. On your turn, when you get a reverse, you can choose one of your other characters, rest it, and send it to the back row. On your opponent's turn, you can mill the top card of your deck, and if it's a character, you can move to a different spot on stage. And potentially, if you can get the reverse again, do another clean cut effect.
This is honestly one of the best level 0 profiles I've ever seen, combining two effective board saving mechanics on a single card. 2000 is small for a clean cut, but there's usually a target that is small enough to be reversed by something like this. And on the defensive side, 2000 is usually bigger than something on an opponent's level 0 board, so this can be run into that lane, which then gives it a reverse target, assuming that card doesn't crash. So potentially 3 different field pluses on a single level 0. Probably going to be a 4 of in just about every Kaguya list. Next up, level 0, 2000 power drop searcher. Straightforward drop searching, pay 1, pitch 1 to search out a character from deck. Also, when a climax is played on field, this jumps back into hand. You can give something 2000 power. This is good for a couple of reasons. 1, extra card in hand. 2, opens up a slot for potential standby targets. And third, this card is the Resonate target for the level 3 Kaguya combo. You need this card in hand in order to get the extra burn effect off, and it just jumps back into hand and you slam the climax down. So if this is in your back row, you slam the climax, back to hand it comes. Simple synergy on a card you are going to run anyway.
Being able to use this to get your level 3 combo, bounce it back to hand to then be able to resonate with. Being able to grant 2k power on climax play to be able to help guarantee reverses is definitely a staple in any Kaguya deck. Looking at that level 3, we have the level 3 Kaguya. This pairs with the Salvage Climax. On play, heal. Climax combo. On attack, pay 1, burn 1. And then you also then increase the power of the card by 2k until end of your opponent's next turn. It also has the ability to, on reverse, outside of the Climax combo itself, discard a card, reveal the drop search in hand on a reverse to burn 1. A potential 3 instances of damage off of the 1 card. Very, very efficient at closing out a game.
Yeah, this card feels like they wanted to reprint Mikasa, but they also didn't want to make a card as oppressive as Mikasa. It heals on play, which is nice. The third effect, the on reverse resonate burn, I'm not as sold on that one because this doesn't get super big. It gets to 12-5 by itself. It can get to 14-5 with back row, but if there are no reverse targets for this card, or if the opponent's playing a big level 3 and has backups in hand, this isn't going to be as efficient of a closing finisher. I think there are matchups where this is really good. I think we'll have to see how it plays out long term. Next, we have the early play Miyuki. It's a 3-2-9-5. Early play with 2 or fewer climaxes in waiting room. On play, it gains 4,500 power. And until the end of your opponent's next turn, neither player can play a backup during this card's battle. It also has an experience effect, pay 2, pitch 1. If the sum of the levels of the cards in level zone is 4 or more, clock kick whatever you reverse across from this. It's an early play that tries to stick extra damage. It gets pretty big. It doesn't heal. I don't know how I feel about this one, Brandon.
I think it's at least an interesting card. It can get rid of opponent's early plays, denying Encore, sitting at on play 14k without any kind of assist, and your opponents can't play backups against it. Last up, we have the back row Chica, 2k to all of your characters in front of the card. When it's placed on stage, you can discard a card and search for up to 1 event. And if you play an event, you can give one of your other characters 1500 power. This pairs really well with the 2-1 event backup that allows you to be able to essentially negate auto effects from your opponent on that in that battle phase, as well as being able to not become reversed. Fantastic combination of cards with this back row support.
Yeah, like you said, this card pairs really nicely with that 2-1 backup event, which we'll talk about when we talk about uncommons and commons. Gives extra power when you play that event down. Lots of power in this back row. And that's it. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back on Tuesday. I will have a deck tech. We'll have gameplay for that deck on Thursday. We'll be back with another Clock Talk the following Tuesday. And 2 weeks from now, we will wrap up 5 cards, 5 minutes for Kaguya with uncommons and commons. Until then, thank you for joining us and have a good one.
We'll see you then.